A few weeks ago I did a video where I opened up a Vectrex games console with the intention of removing the annoying buzz. I've got two Vectrex games console. Vectri is the multiple. I've made that up, that's not true. Now I bought both my Vectri back in the 1990s. I opened one of them up full of dust, so let's get rid of the dust. First off, I got this thing, Compu-Cleaner Xpert. Sounds good, doesn't it? It's not a vacuum, it's a blower, so it blows the dust off things. Now, electric air duster. Now I'm going to dust these things elsewhere because that Vectrex, the dust has been in there for close to 40 years. I don't know where it came from, what it consists of, so I'm going to dust it outside probably, or in the garage or something. It might be full of asbestos as far as I know. So that is one of them. And then this, I thought, well, you know, a lot of people suggested I should get an air compressor. I've never got one before because I don't really have the need to have one around the house. There's not a lot of sort of power toolsy type things that I do. I've got electric power tools for that. And besides which, they tend to be quite large. You know, you have them big air tanks on them and take up loads of room, and then I don't have the room in the garage. So I thought I'll go looking for a small air compressor. And they did these like 6 litre ones and 5 litre ones. I'm looking up at the reviews. And then I saw this thing. Smallest tank that I've seen on any of them. This is 3.8 litres, so really way down there. Pretty useless, I think, as an air compressor. If you were to attach this up and start trying to use a nail gun and drill things and all the air compressory type things, this is not going to do it. But for blowing a bit of air, I thought, well, it'll probably do that, won't it? And the reason I was attracted towards it, you might remember ages ago, I did a video where I ended up buying a Ryobi charger and a battery thing for great expense for something that didn't work out in the end. So I've had these sitting around with nothing to plug them into, so I needed an excuse. I thought, well, there you go, there's the excuse, because you might see down here, 0 battery. These things come without a battery. Now, that said, it's expensive. And in fact, while I was editing this video, the price has gone up. When I bought mine, £137.26. Now, £170 rounded up. I mean, that's crazy. But fortunately, the Compu-Cleaner Xpert has stayed the same price, which is £69.99 in the UK. There's another one lower down than this. This is like the more recent one. 550 watt. Ooh, excited. It comes with some brushes, ESD brushes. You can brush them on a circuit board without frying all your, you know, your chips and stuff. Frying your chips. So let's get this one out of the box, and then we'll get that one out of the box, and then we'll have a look at them, and then we'll try and blow some dust off that old circuit board. I've still got the Vectrex in the house. I was going to put it back in the storage locker so I can open it up again. All right, let's do an unboxing. There you go, that's how you unbox something. Okay, so besides the thing, you get 3 nozzles that go on the front of it. I don't think you're supposed to use it without one of those in place. You get 3 brushes, you get a little air filter thing. The air comes in through the bottom here. That's got a rubberised base on it as well. It's got some decent weight to it, so it kind of holds itself upright quite well. It comes with a nice cord on there. Compu-Cleaner instruction guide. The instructions are the simplest thing you've ever seen. Plug it in, select a nozzle, lift it up and turn it on. That's pretty much it. You've got 2 different power settings there, and then you got a bag to carry it around in. You got a bag for your tools as well, so that's it. Okay, now before I turn it on, I've got to select a nozzle, so I'll show you the 3 different ones here. You've got a sort of longer one there, a wider one, and then one with quite a narrow end on there. So let's go for that, shall we? Might as well. Now, the way that they attach, you can see here you've got a plastic protrusion at either side. You've got kind of a key type thing here, so it goes on, twists around like that, and that's it. So let's switch it on to position 1, see what that sounds like. It's a momentary switch, this, so you've got to hold it down. There's dust flying all around the room here. I didn't realise I had so much dust. That was 1. That is powerful. I'm impressed with that. Let's try number 2. You can see the skin moving there. Don't think I needed to buy that Ryobi thing now, did I? But yeah, this seems to be doing the job. Here's one again. So yeah, that is impressive actually, and it's not too loud either. I can see myself going all around the house with this thing, dusting stuff. Right, okay, so there you go, that's that. You know what, I think that's going to do the job. Should we quit this video now and just forget the whole rest of the thing? No, okay, let's get the Ryobi out of the box, the unnecessary Ryobi, and have a look at that. £200 I spent on it. In all seriousness though, there could be somebody out there that would find this particularly useful, having a rechargeable air compressor. And here it is, let me lift it out, it's got some weight to it. Now, even though I've got a feeling it's surplus to requirements, I've got no intention of sending it back, so I'm not going to be super careful with the packaging. It's my fault for buying the wrong thing if I have to. Now, looking at this, you can see that it gives you some ideas of the things that they think it's suitable for or not suitable for. For example, inflating car tyres is fine, as are bike tyres of course, but definitely not for removing nuts off a car tyre or for, looks like, spray painting. So you can see it's pretty low power really, but it says designed to do more apart from these things. But yeah, I've got a feeling overkill for what I'm going to use it for, but underkill for quite a lot of other things. Kind of fits in a weird middle ground somewhere. So you can see here we've got two gauges, both doing the same thing, measuring pressure. This one is for the tank, that one is for the tools. We've got PSI on the outside, bar on the inside, and then this is going to be the thing that you turn to adjust the pressure to the tool that you're using, and it's locked in place at the beginning, but you can see, I think you lift it off, there we go, yeah, and then it turns. Okay, good solid handle on the top here, lifting it round. You can see on this side, that's where you're going to attach your tools. On that side, this is where your battery is going to attach to the back of it. So this is the battery I'm going to be using. This is the only one I've got, 5 amp hours. I'll pop it on. Hopefully that'll do. Notice also all these warning stickers, and especially that one there, wear ear defenders. Brilliant. Okay, so this is going to be noisy, I'd imagine. Also, look really cool, like a kind of Lobot type of guy. Set fire to it, avoid spiders, read a book, watch out for everything, don't do whatever he's doing, use it underwater, and it explodes every now and then. I think that's it. What have we got on the bottom here? There's a little lever thing pointing down. Oh, there we go. Really don't know how to use one of these. I've never used a compressor, so I'm going to read this thick manual. Right, fortunately, it's not all English. I mean, it's got everything in there, isn't it? I think there's some languages that don't even exist they put this in. There's Esperanto in there. Anyway, English is right at the beginning, so let's see how many pages of English we get. Oh, we're into French already, so that wasn't much. 6 pages. A lot of that. Warnings again. Yeah, wear goggles, wear ear protectors, indoor use. Wow, a lot going on there. It says indoor use. That's not great, is it, for something that's rechargeable? Okay, turns out I've made a mistake. Not surprising. This connector on here, on the end of my crappy air gun thing, will not go into that. It's supposed to have a connector on it, a quick release one where you just clip it in like that. I now need to go and buy myself a quick connector air gun. Okay, day 2. I've got my air blow gun here with the quick release connector on there, so now I can just pop that on like that, and we're ready to go. There's a couple of different lengths of nozzles there. I can see that this one could be quite useful if you really want to get down into something that you can't quite reach, but you want to blow out a fan or something. Well, that could be handy, and that's something that that other device can't do. It's quite bulky, so this could get you better access to smaller areas. Also, while I bought this, I went and got hold of a tyre inflator. I think it's more likely I'm going to be inflating my tyres with it. It's a pretty expensive tyre inflator. Now, I'll show you how it works, this thing. I've had a look at it, although I haven't used it yet properly because the gun's only just turned up. So the idea is you've got an on-off switch here. You turn it on, that uses the power from the battery and draws air into the tank, and the pressure gauge will go up here. And then when it gets to a certain point, it stops, and then you turn it on this way with this thing to how much pressure you want to come out of your air gun. But then the idea is you just blow your air out here, it takes it out of the tank. After a while, the tank doesn't have enough air in it, so it draws more air in, and so you hear the motor kick in again as it's sucking air in. And then also, after you've finished with it, you then pull this thing here to release any air that's left in the tank. And then this tap here, you turn that on once you've got pretty low pressure, almost got rid of everything, and it blows out any kind of water condensation out to the bottom there. And the idea is you're supposed to collect that and dispose of it carefully and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. Let's switch it on. It's going to be quite noisy. here's my air gun. Nothing's coming out of it at the moment, of course. So what we need to do is turn this to the right a bit. You can see the pressure gauge going up now on the right. Now this I've got far too much. It's just getting in the way at the moment. Right. So this one on the right here now is showing around 30. So let's see what that's like. That's not very much. That's less than the other things. So let's turn it up a bit more. Get it up to 60 psi. Right, so you get the idea. That's stopping at around just under 120. So it's bringing itself up to there before you can use this. See how my hand's not moving as much as it was with the other one. So I think we need to bring it up a bit more, up to say 90. Let's put it up there. Right. It's a big pain in the neck, isn't it, this thing? Right, so now we're going to take the air out of here. So let's take it all the way down. Right. Pull the air out of the back. Whoops, that gives me the creeps, this thing. Right, so now release the tap on the bottom. Feel a little bit of moisture coming out of there, not much at all, and that's it. Okay, well, let's try cleaning the Vectrex with it. Let's get this debacle over and done with as quickly as possible. First thing is, no, I didn't break the Vectrex, it's still working, but I'm going to switch it off because it's making an annoying buzz noise. This is the one I didn't put the buzz off kit in. Right, so what should I have bought here? Definitely this thing. This does everything I need. It's got the pressure I need, or the power. Is it pressure, power, blowing power? Whatever it is, it's powerful enough to blow the dust off a circuit board. And that's all I really needed. There are cheaper ones available as well. But yeah, this one, can't fault it. I mean, it works perfectly. The one thing I'll say about it, does seem to get quite warm, you know, if you're using it for quite a few seconds, but it's the kind of thing you don't use for hours, isn't it? You just kind of blow stuff off and leave it sitting there then after that. This, on the other hand, this is a flipping nuisance. I mentioned earlier on, never owned a compressor, so complete new experience to me this, and I don't like them. I mean, I think they're a pain in the neck. Now, that is based on my experience of this. I know people say, oh, if you get one of the big ones, then you'll be fine. I don't have anywhere to store one of the big ones. That's the thing with this. It's kind of between two stools. I think I probably already said that at some point in this video, but yeah, by being a very small compressor, it makes it a lot less useful. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could plug into a normal large one that you can't do with this one, and then you're left with, well, what can this one do? And it can do some minor tasks, although even when it comes to blowing a bit of dust off a circuit board, it's constantly recharging. By recharging, I mean it's taking the air into the tank, and you have to wait a while because the pressure drops out of the outlet nozzle when you do that, so you have to wait like 30 seconds or so, but then you can do a bit of spraying again, and you have to wait again another 30 seconds. So this kind of small tank business, pain in the neck. Now, even when it comes to using it as a tyre pressure thingamajig, which I bought that for, I'm sure it's not going to be the best for that. As far as how long you'll get on one of those batteries, well, the battery I've got here, this thing 5 amp hour one, they said in some bits of the website it says you can inflate 11 tyres from flat. In other bits of the website it says you can inflate 9 tyres from flat, and it doesn't say what size the tyres are either. A load of bicycle tyres at some sort of event out in the middle of nowhere, it'd be fine for that. It's just it doesn't run for very long without having to do that recharge. So yeah, very expensive as well. Some people might find a use for it. For blowing dust off a circuit board, it's overkill. For a lot of other things, it's not good enough. It doesn't do enough. So yeah, forget that. one of these things, that's all you need. Thanks to the people who suggested this. Something fell on the floor. I'm not as impressed with your suggestion, but hey, that's just me. But if I was passing a message to myself in the past, if I was able to transmit a message to me like a week ago, I'd say, hey Matt, get one of these. Don't bother spending all your money on one of those. But that's just my opinion. Okay, now I'm going to break in here because I've got to add some extra information in. After I put this video live on Patreon, quite a few people told me that one thing you shouldn't do with compressed air is spray it at your skin, because it could cause air to get into your bloodstream and cause an embolism. So that's one thing. And the second thing they mentioned is that compressors aren't really very good for spraying at electronics, because they could also spray some moisture onto them as well. So yeah, the compressor, all round bad idea. I'd just say stick to the other device if you wanted to blow some air on a circuit board, or just use a vacuum in blow or a hairdryer or a compressed air can, or whatever you want to use instead. Anyway, as usual, links, video description. Don't bother clicking them. Nobody wants anything that I've shown. This video is a waste of time. That's it for the moment. As always, thanks for watching.